We're back to magnet fishing today, and we're not actually going to go magnet fishing, but I'm going to show you guys something you can do to help keep yourselves from losing your magnet the first time you go fishing with it, because it's very, very easy to do. And we're going to go down to the river here and take a look and see what it looks like as far as maybe being able to pitch the magnet out. I think it might be high though, because it rained a bunch the last couple days, but we're going to check it out anyway. First thing you have to remember is there's a lot of stuff underwater in the rivers and streams. So when you go to pitch your magnet in there on a rope, it gets snagged on stuff, and it's very, very easy to do that. And you guys that fish and put that great big old sinker on the end of your line and you pitch it out there, you guys know that it's so easy to get caught on the bottom. And heck, you guys see all the sinkers I find. Exact same thing will happen to your magnet if you're not careful, and if you don't watch this video. So let's cruise on down to the river, see what it looks like, and if it's good, we'll try it after I show you the one simple trick. And if not, I'll just show you the one simple trick. It'll be fun, I promise. So I decided just to come to the overlook at first, because I'm not sure what the river's going to look like. This big old tree that has blown down here. Yeah, the path is still exposed, so you can still walk along there. But you can tell it's coming up because there's still stuff floating in there. Below me here is the C&O Canal. You saw that in the other video I just made when I was exploring the old homestead. But what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here on this rock, and I'll show you how to hook up your magnet, and then we're going to go over to the demonstration station, and I'll show you how to throw your magnet and some of the dangers that you need to look out for as far as getting your magnet snagged, because it's very, very easy to get them snagged. So let's just set the camera up, and that looks like a good seat right there for Mr. Bo. Yeah, that's a good one. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is, the magnet itself. Again, I recommend you get the kind that has the hook and it's The other day I was playing around with the magnets. So actually I wasn't playing around with the magnets. I was putting stuff on my work table downstairs, and I moved something too close to one of the big magnets and it crushed my pinky. And didn't break any bones though, and I didn't break any bones this time, so that's a good thing. But again, be very careful with these things because they're really strong. When you want to pull something apart, don't just like apart. Try to twist it so there's less surface area on it, like that, and then pull it, or roll it off like that. So always be really careful with these things. But again, put some glue or Loctite on the threads, put it together, tighten it down, and then you'll never have to worry about it unscrewing when you're throwing it out in the water. Now let's talk about the rope. This is just cheap rope from Walmart. Probably rated at about 150 pounds. Probably cost me like 10 bucks. I like the braided rope. If you look here, you can see it's all interwoven. It's called braided rope. They have twisted rope, which is just 3 strands that are just twisted around each other. But this is normally a little more flexible. So get braided rope. At least that's what I use. Knots. Knots are very important, okay? If you just make a junky knot, like I normally make and stuff like this, that reduces the strength of the rope by up to a half. So if this is rated at 150 pounds, you put a knot in it like that, and it might only be rated to 75 or maybe 100 pounds. So use good knots. I'm not going to teach you how to knot them or tie them because I am a terrible knot tire. But look it up online. There's plenty of sites that you can find for knot tying. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rope on the magnet, and I'm going to show you the #1 most dangerous thing, other than getting your finger snapped, about magnet fishing that you really have to watch out for, and it's underwater obstructions. Okay, it's like tree branches and trees and pieces of bridges. You're going to lose your magnet on a tree branch in a heartbeat. So I've been here about an hour, and I finally have a knot tied, and this is what I ended up with. You can see how the rope disappears down into the eyelet here, and it's snugged down by all these coils. Okay, so there's not a lot of friction in one spot on the rope to make it weak. Whereas if you just took the end of the rope like this and you threaded it through and just made a little junky little knot like this, that really weakens the rope. Because not only do you have a lot of friction on these little pieces right here that will eventually eat through, and of course it makes your rope a lot weaker, but you may also get this type of motion here where it's rubbing and moving all the time. And if you get that, especially when you start to get sand and pieces of rust and stuff in there, it's going to eat through your rope. So you probably don't want to make this kind of knot, okay? Make something more on the lines of the one that I made. And if you look online, there's a ton of different knots, but this might help you just a little bit. And the little monkey knots that I normally make are a lot weaker. And if you get a knot in your rope up here, because you will over time, always make sure you undo them, okay? Because that little knot right there will really make it a lot weaker, and you don't want that if you have a decent magnet on the end of it. So this is where we're going to demonstrate how not to lose your magnet. This is by far the most important part of the video, and the best, most important tip I'm going to give you, other than being careful with your fingers. This is what a typical river bottom might look like. You're going to have rock ledges, you're going to have submerged trees and stumps and pieces of bridges and stuff like that. Pay particular attention to this, because this is what's going to get you. When you have your trees that are submerged, see all these little V's that the limbs make? That's what's going to catch your magnet. And if you're a fisherman, I mean, you know this because you lose tons of sinkers, and it's just as easy to lose a magnet. But I'm going to show you how, to safely pitch the magnet out, and if you get snagged, how you might be able to get it loosened up, other than just diving in and getting it, which can be very uncomfortable this time of year. So let me show you. I'll set the camera up right here. The first thing I do is I tie off the rope to myself so I do not lose the whole kit and caboodle in the river. An easy way to do that is I just make a loop, run it through a belt loop like that, and take the loose end, run it back through. And that's pretty good. That's nice and snug. It's not going to go anywhere. And if something happened with a magnet where it wanted to pull you in the water, I'm sure you could break this belt loop very easily if it had to get away. So you don't have to tie it to yourself, but I always do. Now what we're going to do is this. I'm going to pretend I'm standing on the bank right here. My rope is nice and uncoiled beside me, so it's not going to get tangled up in anything. And I'm going to just pitch it easily underhand out into the river. I'm going to aim for that tree right there, which normally I wouldn't do, but for the purpose of the demonstration, that's what we're going to aim for. So just nice, easy pitch. Whee! Okay? You just pull it in slowly across the bottom. Now you notice I'm already starting to get snagged up right there on those little V's that I showed you in the tree limbs. I felt that, but we'll just keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Nice and easy. Uh-oh, look. See I'm getting snagged? Now, I might be able to just use brute strength, because I'm very brutish, and pull that out of there, but I might also snap the rope. So at this point, we're kind of stuck, aren't we? Very first toss. Imagine that. Now, this is the trick I'm going to teach you. What you can do, and you guys that fish know this, is keep the line kind of taut, and you walk up and down the shoreline, and if it's caught in a V like that, it may come out, okay? So I'm going to go over there and grab the camera, and I'm going to walk up to my left and see if it will come unsnagged. Because I don't think I would be able to pull this free the way it is. So grab the camera, and I'm still stuck. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk up along the edge here of the bank and see if we can get it free, okay? See, still stuck. All right, so what you do, just kind of keep a little pressure on it, and every once in a while you might want to let it down and see if it comes free. Not coming free, not coming free. Keep going, keep going. Walking up along the bank, pull some more. That one's stuck good, isn't it? Now I'm letting a little bit of line out because I don't want to get wet. Yeah, so look at that, see? It just moved. Ah, we're free. Go ahead and pull it in. Just like that. And that's how you get it unstuck. Pretty neat little trick, huh? So you just need to walk up and back on the bank and just change the angle of the rope a little bit, and that might pop it out of the V. That's all there is to it, guys. There are some times where you will get this hooked up that you will never be able to pull it out, and if that happens to you, I'd recommend shortening the rope up a little bit. If you can't go in and get it, which I would, I don't care what time of year it is, And just throw the rope out and maybe come back when it warms up, and maybe you can get it then. Maybe somebody wouldn't have found it already. But yeah, they're really easy to lose if you don't know that one simple trick about the trees. So I hope this video made sense to you guys. Just remember, make a decent knot in your rope so you don't reduce the strength too much. Put some Loctite on the threads. And if you do get snagged up, don't get aggravated and just pull on it until the rope breaks. Use some finesse, go up and down the bank, change the angle of the rope to where it's snagged, and chances are it'll come free. I've had it so that they didn't come free and I actually had to dive in to get it. But 9 times out of 10, use some finesse. Patience. Patience is a big thing. And hopefully you can get it back. Alright, almost back home.